In a show of international unity, leaders from around the globe have denounced the recent assassination attempt on former United States President Donald Trump. The attack, which occurred at a campaign rally in Pennsylvania on Saturday, left one bystander dead and two others critically injured. Mr. Trump, who sustained an injury to his right ear, was released from the hospital later that evening. The U.S. Secret Service is said to have successfully neutralized the suspected assailant. The outpouring of support for Trump and condemnation of political violence has been swift and widespread. World leaders have taken to social media and issued statements expressing their relief that Mr. Trump's injuries were not more severe and reaffirming their commitment to peaceful political discourse. And this has been generating reactions. In fact, there's been divergent views with regards to what happened, even though Trump later that day came out to say it's important that Americans stand united. Yes, whatever your political leaning may be, it's important that a country stands united when it's talking about democracy. And that's the shooter there, 20-year-old Crooks, Thomas Crooks, as he is called. And he was said to have been taken out immediately after that incident happened. And there's been questions as regards how was it possible for him to have climbed up a particular building there where he carried out the shooting. What happened with regards to security? Because the SSS, we're even wondering, how did that happen? How was he able to shoot despite the security presence there? That investigation is still ongoing. There are reports that his phones have been taken. They want to know what his intentions were so they can get to the root of what happened. There are those who said he shouldn't have been taken out. They should have interrogated him. Then whatever happens afterwards happens.
And in reaction to this also, his opponent, the present or the current president of the United States, has also reacted, asking Americans to sort of lower the temperature of politics after the Trump shooting. I guess he got a realization that this election will be a deal breaker for Americans especially. And for the suspect who was taken out immediately after that incident, the FBI said he did not seem to have any ideologies. But of course, for something like this to happen, you must have a belief. You must tilt towards a particular, belief or candidates that you respect to come into power. Well, this is not the first time something like this has happened in the United States.
Absolutely.
But of course, we've expected that to an extent, the United States democracy is one of the oldest, and we thought that it has become a sort of, role model for other democracies across the world. And for something like this to happen, this is really a big deal for Biden to also, come out to mention the fact that they should lower the temperature ahead of the election. And it's not a good thing that this is coming at the time that Biden is also being encouraged to step down. His donors are withdrawing, and also it's not really a good time for him, because some persons have also been pointing fingers.
Well, there's no good time for things like this to happen. A democracy, like the president has said, should be devoid, because our president, Bola Tinubu, also spoke to this issue, and he said that things like this, if I may just summarize what he says, shouldn't happen in a democracy. It should be devoid of violence and issues like this. And so, like you rightly pointed out, one would have thought that America's democracy has matured enough to avoid these kinds of things. But you see, when you talk about ideology, people's mindset, and their political leanings, there are those who say that when they went, digging about the shooter, they found out that he was a member of, he's a Republican, but then he donated to the cause of the Democrats at some point. So there are those who are saying perhaps it's an inside job and all of it. And, so many stories being bandied around. But for whatever reason, I believe it's high time that we begin to look beyond our emotions as people. The lessons here for me young persons should understand that democracy, you may not agree with a leader, but then you shouldn't take laws into your hands. There are channels for you to vent your anger, your discrepancies or disagreements or whatever you are not happy with. There are channels to do that. We see that even in Nigeria, where people are not happy with perhaps the way government is doing certain things. So you have channels with which you can air your views, air your grievances. You do not have to take it this far. Yes, Nigeria did not get that far, but we saw how the differences were, the biases, how pronounced it was in the last election. And then we are still having conversations around that even up till now. People are still calling out persons, threatening people because they voted certain candidates and all of it. I think that we should grow out of that. There are ways to channel your grievances, even if things are not going your way. You do not have to take laws into your hands.